Hello and good morning, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about personalised nutrition and lifestyle medicine, and in particular I'd like to talk about functional testing and nutrigenomic testing and how together they can be quite powerful tools into uncovering the root cause of what's driving certain signs and symptoms for working with clients. So there are three things that make us unique: our genetics, the things that have happened to us in our life, and the environment in which we live in. And that could be not just the physical environment, but the air we breathe and the food that we eat as well. So when working with clients, the main thing that I need to do is dig deep into their health history to understand what's happened to them over the course of their life and what's happening now. And a functional and nutrigenomic test can help me not only understand their genetic vulnerabilities or strengths, but also what's actually happening in the body at that time. So I'm going to give you an example of how that can work, and I'm going to use a case study, and that case study is me. So I've chosen vitamin D because it's quite topical at the moment, with lots of people looking at whether they need to supplement vitamin D to support their immune system. And I was the same. So I undertook two different tests. The first one was a functional blood spot test that assessed the amount of circulating vitamin D that was in my body. The second was a nutrigenomic test, which looks at three different genes in relation to vitamin D, and they look at how effective I am at transporting vitamin D around the body, and also how effective my vitamin D receptors are at receiving any circulating vitamin D, and then being able to activate them for use in different biochemical functions. So the result of those tests came in. The functional test showed me that I had slightly below optimal vitamin D circulating, and the nutrigenomic test showed me that I had what are called single nucleotide polymorphisms, and they are variances on the genes that for me actually have a detrimental effect. So in reality, what does that mean in reality? It means that compared to the average person, I am a poorer transporter of vitamin D, and that my vitamin D receptors are less sensitive than the average person's vitamin D receptors. So I've got suboptimal vitamin D levels, and I've got genes that perhaps make me a little bit more vulnerable to vitamin D deficiency. So together those things indicate to me that I needed to up the dose of vitamin D that I was taking. Now I live in a northern latitude, and it's unlikely that I'm going to get sufficient vitamin D from just sun exposure, so I recognise that I need a supplement to increase my vitamin D, and potentially I need a higher dose of vitamin D to have the same effect as anybody who hasn't got those genetic vulnerabilities as I have. So hopefully from that case study you can see how powerful functional and nutrigenetic testing is in completing that clinical picture and allowing advice to really be personalised to an individual. So if you're interested in functional and nutrigenomic testing, then head over to the website and you can book in for a complimentary discovery call to discuss how we can personalise a nutrition and lifestyle package for you. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks for listening.